In today's video, we are going to look at some common pricing headaches, and I'm really proud to introduce our brand new pricing health assessment, which aims to solve many of these common headaches. The first headache that we're going to look at from a pricing perspective that we see all too often is businesses not actually fully understanding what products their competitors are selling. Do you know, for example, when competitors add new products to their inventory? Do you know actually if they have a comparable good, better, best split to your own inventory? If you don't have full visibility of the products your competitors are selling, you can't make an assessment of whether or not they're actually a competitor to start with. And you may be instances where they are a competitor in certain categories, but actually they can be ignored in other categories by way of example. The second headache that we see from a pricing perspective is businesses being over-reliant on promotions to drive sales. What I mean by this is that they're heavily reliant on sales during the Christmas period or during, for example, Black Friday or sales over the Easter period by way of example. But actually what happens is that we see by analysing the data is you're just shifting the point in time across the calendar when people are making those purchasing decisions. By almost building up in the mindset of your customers that they can wait until these promotional periods or getting your customers comfortable that they should expect these promotions, they're actually shifting their buying behaviour and they're buying your products they would have at other times of the year at a discounted rate during the promotional period. And what you should focus on instead is making sure that your price is optimal throughout the year and supplementing with certain promotions to drive in not repeatable or guessed periods throughout the year. The next common pricing headache that we see is businesses not having a full understanding of what their cost price actually is. Okay, you buy a product from a supplier, you know what cost that is, and therefore you can work out what ultimately the cost is to ship to a customer. But do you actually know 100% that the cost price you're using to make sure that you're not selling below a certain margin is correct to start with? If you're using, for example, a blended delivery model, if your delivery price is factored into the cost, is that average delivery cost correct? You need to be able to analyse the data to make sure that is the middle ground, that middle ground is correct, because you might find, for example, that your customers are continually selecting the more expensive delivery model. Also, in this day and age, marketing, online marketing is key to drive traffic to your online web store if you're a retailer. And do you have a sensible aggregated model to work out what the cost is of a marketing on a per product basis? You know, if you're using coupon codes and you've got redirect links and you're giving kickbacks on those links by way of example, is that price factored into your cost? If it's not, you're making decisions on inaccurate data. Do you know if you have a decent, good, better, best range across your entire product inventory? If you're not tracking that also, if you change the price of one of those good, better, best range, for example, if you change the good and make that more expensive, or you change the best and make that cheaper, is that cannibalizing sales up and down your inventory level? You need to make sure that you have the mechanisms in place to make sure that you give customers that option to almost shift up the chain depending on what purchasing decisions they're having if price is one of the drivers for them buying from you. Do you know, for example, if you are overcharging for your products, or do you know if you're undercharging? We typically find this is a common pricing headache in businesses that use cost plus pricing to drive their pricing decisions. If you're happy with flat 30% markups or 40% markups or whatever the percentage is across certain categories, yeah, absolutely, you are bound to make money assuming that you sell that product. However, there could be individual products which you could achieve a 32% markup, and on other products it's a 26.4% markup by way of example. You need to look beyond your cost price and use optimal pricing strategies to optimize your entire product portfolio, rather than and have the confidence and tools in place to know that you are not overcharging and you're not undercharging and you are bang on the money. Another common pricing headache we see is businesses not knowing if they're changing their prices frequently enough. Businesses that change their price once a night, once a week, once a month. If you're at the latter end of that scale, you are not changing your prices enough. And you need the tools in place to work out whether or not you should be at the one end of the scale or the other end of the scale in order to have the confidence to know that you're changing your prices often enough. In an online play, you need to be dynamic. Another common pricing headache we see is that businesses over time are losing the amount of money or losing the profitability they're making on certain products over time. And a common reason for this is because businesses' pricing strategies are over-reliant on competitor data. So a competitor of yours drops their price, so you in turn drop your price. And this continues and continues and continues, and it's a race to the bottom, and no one wins in this situation. You need to look beyond just competitor prices alone in order to influence your pricing strategy. Another pricing headache that we see is that businesses don't know when to follow their competitors and when to ignore their competitors. You might need to be competitive on certain products, even if you're not the market leader, and a market leader can set the price for certain products. On other products though, you can probably afford to ignore your competitive pricing strategies. Also, if you're only matching a certain percentage of your competitor products, the percentage of your products that you're not matching against your competitors, you need to have additional pricing strategies in order to fine-tune the price of those products. And lastly, a common headache that we see amongst businesses is that they can't say with 100% confidence that all of their prices are at the optimal price. If you can't say that, you need to embark on a strategy in order to optimize all of your pricing and need to make sure that you have the tools in place in order to manage it in the long term. So I've touched upon some common pricing headaches, and I'm delighted to introduce our brand new pricing health assessment, which aims to solve all of those pricing headaches. Developed by some really intelligent team here at BlackCurve with backgrounds in quantitative and financial analysis, as well as maths and physics at university level, all the way up to PhDs. This will help you answer 3 key questions. How is my current pricing strategy performing? What are my competitors' pricing strategies? And what opportunity do I have to flex price? If you're about to embark on your pricing journey or just want to have that checkpoint, that audit, regroup to answer and to find out whether you have an opportunity to use price to drive business growth, is the perfect solution for you. To find out more about the benefits and find out more about the pricing health assessment, please check out blackcurve.com. Thank you.